Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and today I'm really excited. So I picked up a foundation. It is not new. It is from Koh Gen Do. It is their Aqua foundation, and I have had a surprising amount of questions, comments, hey, will you test this? Hey, have you tried this? Give us your thoughts, so on and so forth for this foundation. So I thought I would pick it up. I got it from the Beautylish website, and we're just gonna give it a go. Now, I'm gonna be reading all of my information off of the Beautylish site, of course, and I just want you to know that this foundation retails for $70. So girl, she not cheap. But in the description it says, with radiance in mind, the Aqua foundation is infused with an RGB powder that enhances the natural tone of the complexion for a brighter and poreless skin texture. Now for those of you that are not familiar with it, RGB is basically just a color additive that represents red, blue, and green. And to my understanding, you add this type of color additive to a foundation to allow it to bring out the natural hues of your skin. It helps everything blend a little bit better, and it gives you a better base representation for your skin tone. Again, that's from what I can understand. I've looked up little things here and there, but it's nothing I've ever dove into hardcore. So if that's something you're familiar with, please go ahead and school us down in the comments, because my knowledge on that topic is very limited. I just know that it's a really interesting approach to foundation, because if you think about it, what are foundations like in our day-to-day life designed to do? They're designed to cover in one degree or another, whether it's a BB cream all the way to full coverage. We're always talking about coverage and pigmentation and how to get the most and how to cake it on and how to put the most, get the most coverage without making it look cakey. So I love the concept of adding in something that's almost more like a filter to your skin that allows you to get the right coverage by adjusting pigmentation as opposed to adding pigment in a foundation, if that makes sense. Anyways, moving on. This does have about 4.5 stars out of 5. A lot of people really seem to enjoy it. I didn't really delve into the comments on Beautylish because you guys know I like to make my own informed opinion. But other than that, there really isn't a ton to note about this foundation. You do get 1.01 fluid ounces, so a standard amount there. Now there are only 10 shades in this collection, which is definitely a bummer, but this is a Japanese brand made in Japan and obviously again targeted toward the Japanese demographic, so it does kind of make sense that maybe there are less shades. However, it doesn't make it suck any less for people that necessarily are not included. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into mine. I picked up the shade 002. Okay, I like this component. I think it is plastic, but it has a very nice feel to it, and I think it looks good and sleek. You do get a nice pump here. Now I also, just like in all of my foundation reviews, went ahead and I split the primers, one on each side. This side I have the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which does a really nice job for me of filling in the pores throughout the day and keeping it smoother longer. But then on the other side I went in with my Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For, and this not only is a good way to fill in my pores lightly, but it's also a light mattifier. And I thought because I am normal to oily, it might be good to go in with such a primer and try it out with a more luminous-esque foundation. So let's go ahead. We've given this a good couple of shakes, and I'm just going to apply a couple pumps to the back of my hand here and get a good feel for the color. Oh girl, she is liquid. Okay, so 002 again is the shade, and I need to get to applying. Now also for sponges, I do have the Fenty sponge. This is my diehard, my favorite, my ride or die. I use it every day. But I also, because of the coverage factor, I did grab my Juno & Co sponge. This one is really nice at building up coverage. So I thought I could check and see if there's a difference between the two sides. I need a mirror. Hello. Girl is a little bit blinded over here. I need to be able to see, please. Also, this color is going to look a little hilarious on my skin. It's very thin. Like, this is water thin. Wow. I'm just going to take and dot a little bit on this half of the face here. And you know what? I think first I'll go in with my Juno & Co sponge and work this around just to see what it looks like. Okay, so with the Juno & Co, not bad coverage. The shade, definitely a little bit, not my shade, but that's all right. We kind of expected this. Hello, it's me. Okay, she definitely looks very nice and glowy, radiant. I'm gonna take a little bit more. I did use everything that I pumped out onto my hand, which I believe was about 2 pumps. And I'm gonna take the same thing and do it to the other side. And I'm just going to actually first apply it. Now because that is the Fenty sponge, it is a lot more porous than the Juno & Co, so I wanted to apply it to my face first. And now I'm going to go ahead and blend this in. And let's just see what the coverage would be with more of a traditional sponge versus that Juno & Co sponge. Wow, okay, so the difference is quite a lot. If you're applying this with a regular sponge, you're gonna get very light natural coverage. Like, the difference is ridiculous. So Juno & Co sponge, I feel like a lot of my redness is much more covered versus this side. Like all of this redness down in here is still open, all of the redness up by my brow. And you can also tell in the sponge. Now again, Fenty sponges are a traditional sponge, so these are going to absorb more product, but like look at how much that one sucked up versus the Juno & Co. I myself personally do like a little bit more coverage without using extra product, so I would probably use the Juno & Co. with this particular foundation. Now if you either have nice skin or you don't mind having a little peakage coming through, you could use a regular sponge and not have an issue, because I think that this is one of those foundations that you know what you're buying when you buy it, which is a lot lighter foundation coverage. So I'm just going to take my Juno & Co. sponge here just to make sure everything matches, and I'm just going to go over this side a little bit just to build up. Yeah, like look at the built up coverage. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to use this, go over the entire face, both sides, smooth everything out, and see where we are sitting, honey. So after about 5 minutes of it just sitting here and drying down, I will say a little bit of luminosity has dried into the skin and went away. But overall, I still think it looks nice and dewy on the skin. I think that if you have dry skin, this would probably work very nicely on you. Now, as far as setting it goes, I don't know that you would have to, because I am getting a little transfer, but it's not nearly as much as you would think for how luminous and dewy this is on the skin. So that's a good thing. I think as far as the overall dry down though, it is still giving me a nice luminous finish, which is good. Again, something I wanted to check on with this foundation, because so many times I will try a luminous foundation and after about 5 minutes of dry down, it will either A, become satin matte and like that shine, that beautiful sexiness that you love about it goes away, or it starts to immediately break up. And either way, I just wanted to see if this one was going to sabotage me right from the start, and it actually looks really pretty. Now for concealer, I'm going to be going in with the Clarins Instant Concealer in shade 01. I've talked about this a couple of times. It will be in an upcoming video, so stay tuned. I'll talk a little bit more about it there. But for today, I really like the coverage that this gives, and I think it'll work very well with the overall look that I'm going for. So I want to just apply a little bit of this to the under eye, buff it out, and then I'll also use it, of course, on the other areas of the skin that I normally put concealer, just to help bring back and shade match a little bit with this foundation. Now for powder, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair. This is a ride or die true one for me. I love it a ton. So I'm going to first go in, I'm going to pat out my under eye creases, because y'all know this girl has got some creasy ass under bags. Let me tell you what. I'm always so jealous of people that can just like grab a tulip brush and lightly pat their under eye. I'm like, girl, I have to get in there. Like me and 3 Swiss Armies have to really get in there and duke it out for like battle of the bags. It's a lot. Like I can't sit here and be like, oh, like let me just tap. No, girl, I'm in here like I need a sword. I need a battle horn. I need it all. Like we have to go into this full on like war style. So if you're one of those people that can just do it all willy-nilly, girl, I salute you. Because me and my troops are going into battle day on these bags, day. I'm actually going to take a puff. I'm going to apply as little as possible, so I'm just working it into the sponge, kicking it to the surface here, and then I'm going to go in and press it into the skin. I feel like a brush is going to move this around too much, so I don't want to take that chance. I just want to press in as little as possible, but still lock it into place. Okay, yes, this is definitely working. I'm getting nice matte coverage. You can definitely see there's no shine over here versus the other side still has this nice strip of dewiness to it, and we're about to take that away. All right, powder is looking good, settling down nicely. I'm just gonna go in with my Thrive Causemetics Ray Bronzer here and bronze up the skin, because girl, we need it. We're looking a little flat Stanley over here, yes. Don't forget those Doritos Cheetos cupcakes. Bronze that double chin, y'all. Bronze it, bronze it, bronze it. Ain't no shame in bronzing your double chin. For blush, I'm going to be grabbing the Catrice blush box here. This is in the shade Burgundy. Looks a little deep, but I wanted something that would give me a little bit of life back to the skin. Next up, I'm going to give myself a good old spritz of the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray just to set everything down, and then we're going to go in with some highlight. Okay, so now that that's set, before I go in with any highlight, I want to take a look at it up close. I will say that if you powder and then spray, it does kind of bring it back to a nice satin finish. You can definitely see a little I'm very busy. You can definitely see a little luminescence, but not too much on the skin. I think it looks really healthy. I'm really liking this so far. Okay guys, so after trying to come up with a reason not to for the last 5 minutes, I just can't come up with one. Amrezy highlight. This is what we're doing. Let's go ahead, get ready for it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I love you. Now I'm going to go in with a spray of my Urban Decay All Nighter. Okay, now normally I would go in with a hit of my Catrice or my Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. I'm not going to because this is very dewy on its own. And again, I don't want to make it worse with my normal to oily skin. So now we're just going to go in with some mascara. All right, guys, so I'm just going to lean in here so we can all take a look. Obviously my makeup is all done and I really like the way that this look came together. Not only does it look nice and natural, but the foundation itself is sitting really beautifully on the skin. And if I had to pick a side as far as primer goes that I think looks just a touch better, it would actually be the Peter Thomas Roth side, which is a little bit shocking because that had more of a mattification property than the Tatcha Silk Canvas. But I just feel like in this area, it looks a little bit less dry or a little less cakey, a little less something than it does on this side. Overall though, I think it looks pretty good. My texture is a little bit enhanced up in like this general region on both sides. I'm hoping that that'll settle down once my oils come out to play. So you guys know the drill. I'm gonna go do my day. I'll stop back on. We're gonna talk foundation, how it looks. So far so good. But y'all, only time will tell. So I will be right back. Okay, you guys, so it has been about halfway through the day now. I think I've been wearing this for about 4-ish hours at this point. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a check-in. Overall, it still looks pretty good. Now, this lighting is a little bit more forgiving, but I wanted to find lighting so I could show you the texture that I have going on, because so far, that's like my biggest gripe, I would say, is I'm just having a little bit of an issue with the pore minimizing aspects of it, which if you guys have been watching me for any length of time, you know that that's nothing crazy. Girl, I just have big old massive man pores, so nothing crazy there. Now, the other thing, and I don't know if I back out a little bit, you'll be able to see it, but I am looking a little bit dry. Yeah, I think you can see it right there on both sides. So I brought in my Catrice because I do feel like I need a little help through here. There we go. Now that the light's stabilizing, you can definitely see there's just a little bit through here. I just look a little bit drier than usual, which again, going in with a dewier foundation and having to set it with powder, that can happen. So I'm just gonna grab my Catrice here. Okay, I gave that a second to dry down and I think you can already tell a little bit of a difference. Just everything looks a little bit smoother and it looks a little bit less white and cakey. On my skin, that's like a dead giveaway when I start to get that white cakey cast over this area. Girl, she's getting a little bit too dry. So perhaps this morning I should not have went against my instincts and I should have used my Catrice. But so far, I actually think it's wearing very well. Again, for me being a normal to oily skin girl, I think this is looking so nice on the skin. So anyways, I'm gonna go finish out the day. Also, my eye is leaking, so that's super fun. But that's not the foundation's fault. So I shall see you guys at the end of the day. Okay, you guys, it is officially the end of the day. And like, let's just be honest. I am a hot mess today. I ate a burger, spoiler alert. And I didn't just like drip ketchup on my chin. It full on went splursh down my chin, like right, this whole area, solid ketchup. Anyways, my ketchup escapades are not why we are here. So let's talk foundation. So I just like lean scooch down. I'm trying to get the best shot of the sun and I want you guys to be able to see all of this right through here because I feel like it definitely broke up a lot around my nose, which I know that this looks really nasty. Like we definitely have a lot of oil going on the nose, the chin, which if I hadn't spilled ketchup there, you could probably tell. So for my overall thoughts and opinion on this foundation, I actually have pretty positive reviews. I think that if you're on the normal to oily side of things, you might not love it because the longevity isn't going to be there as well for you. And when you go into powder, I think it's going to create a little bit of a residual issue. Now, that being said, if you are normal to dry or combo, anything like that, this foundation, like you guys saw it this morning, it went on like a dream. It sat into the skin. It was so smooth. And I think because I have to set my foundation, that's where the problems really came in because this literally looked like the most pristine, the way that it settled, everything about it, it truly does have a second skin look and feel to it. I love that. So as far as who I think it'd be more suited for, definitely like normal to dry range. So moving from there, I think the coverage actually stayed pretty well. You guys saw me apply it this morning. If you do apply it with a regular sponge or a regular type sponge, Fenty, Real Technique, Beauty Blender, anything like that, like a standard sponge, I think that you will get okay medium coverage. You can build it up to a decent medium. Now, I did get pretty good coverage today using the Juno & Co sponge, which is pretty awesome. So I do think depending on your tool, you can get a little more out of it. So overall, I think I would just say this is the type of foundation, honey. It just prefers to be nice and moisturized. It prefers to be nice and happy and dewy looking. And if that's your jam, that's what you're into, you can pull that off. I definitely think you would enjoy this because it did sit beautifully. Again, is it necessarily for my skin type? No. If I were to go in with this, I would probably have to
to add a couple of things. I definitely want to make sure I had some mattification going on. I'd probably mix in like a little Catrice full coverage just to give me a little extra coverage and give me a little mattification. I think that would look beautiful. You could go, you know, the Dior Forever if you want a little bit of that smoothing-esque quality. I think that anything really for me in that general direction would help this a lot. So you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this foundation review was everything that those of you requested it, wanted it to be. I hope it was helpful and that it helps you guide your purchasing decisions in the Koh Gen Do region, because y'all, like I said, I'm actually pretty impressed. Like overall, even as a foundation that is not geared for my skin type, I'm impressed. I think it wore really well. And I never said this either, but honey, I've been wearing this for like 8-9 hours-ish at this point. So this has been through the ringer on my skin. Like that's impressive. I definitely want to hear from you guys down below. Have you tried it? What do you think? Leave me your thoughts down below. And don't forget, if there's ever anything you want to see, you want me to check out, you want new releases, anything that you're like, hey Paige, I saw in a month this is getting dropped, let me know the tea. Let me know. Leave it down there, because I always do go through. I get your guys' comments, and that is how I make my purchasing decisions, especially if I know there's something that you guys are just dying to see. So again, always leave it down there. And I just want to say, I know you guys are so patient with me, and I know I'm not in the comments as much as I should be. Lately has been a crazy time. As a lot of you know, or if you don't know, YouTube for me is not my full-time job. I actually own 2 other businesses outside of YouTube with my father. So I'm very busy. That's no excuse. I just want you guys to know it's not that I'm willfully not, you know, responding or not in the comments with you. I do dive in, and a lot of times I'll just go into the comments for like an hour and a half, and I will respond and love on as many of you as I can. So I just don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring it willfully, because that is definitely not what's going on. I do genuinely appreciate every single one of you that goes down there, takes the time to leave those comments, and that encourages me more than you could know. Like even if I never reply to you, just know that I read your comment, and that you guys encouraging me is literally what keeps me going every day. Because girl, I get so tired and I get so exhausted and so wiped, and I sometimes feel like I'm not making a difference, like I don't even matter in the YouTube world. And without your guys' constant encouragement, I honestly don't think I would be able to feel so happy and uplifted with my channel. And I can't thank you guys enough for always being there for me, even when I feel like I fail so much. And I know that sounds crazy, but I don't know. I just feel guilty sometimes. I just want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, as every YouTuber says, for being here and for commenting and caring. And it really does mean a lot. So again, leave me your thoughts and opinions down below, you guys. And if you haven't yet, you can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. They're both, of course, linked down below. They're hyperlinked. All you have to do is click it and hit follow, because your girl's trying to get verified. And you guys have been doing such a great job helping me out with that. And I love seeing all of you participate in Skincare Saturday/Sunday over on my Instagram, where we talk about all kind of fun skincare. And you guys have really been showing up for that as well and following. And I genuinely appreciate it. So don't forget to do that. And if you also have not done so yet, you can go ahead and subscribe, because y'all, I upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. And it is a fun, fresh lit time. We talk about new makeup, old makeup, makeup we love, makeup we didn't love so much, makeup that's empty like hell. We talk about garbage on this channel, y'all. Anything that helps y'all guide purchasing decisions, know what's good, what's not, and everything in between. That is what we talk about. And it's good, it's fun, it's fresh, it's early, and it's just a good way to get your day started. And that is it, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Where did they go? Where did my earrings go, sir? Twirly dinks and twirly hoes, where did my earrings go? That's what I think about that. That's what I think about that. Okay. Ooh, get down and do that. Do that. Go Tiger, do that. Do that. Go Tiger, do that. Do that. Whoa! Whoa! If you don't know what movie that's from, I feel so sorry for your childhood, your life, because it's missing from your soul. I just want you to know that. I really want to let this foundation. Oh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. She's always right there when I need her. Ooh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader.